So now wait till Saturday. Now it's Saturday. Those days boys were also very innocent. They used to come on the spot at 9:50 with a big smile, thinking about the nearby future, very next future, okay? 9:55, 10, 10:05. The patience level was higher that time. Now it is not at all. Till 10:30 and after 10:45, 11 o'clock, and there is no other option than to wait. I cannot pull out the cell phone and call and ask, where are you? No cell phone. Actually, you will say, sir, now it is emergency, na? Now you can call at her residence. But there is no guarantee that if I call, only she will pick up. If I call and if her appa picks up, hello, problem, try to understand. So I didn't had a chance to call. Wait. But there is some limit, man. From 10 o'clock, I'm standing in the sun. It is summertime, 10, 11. The sun is very hot. I'm also very hot now. And by 11 o'clock, 11:15, that's it. My patience is done. I'm very angry with a red face. Because of anger, because of sun, both combination. I go home and Dil ke armaan aansuon mein beh gaye. Now, maybe Sunday holiday, maybe I meet that person, I meet her on Monday and I'm very angry. Okay, I won't talk with her. She'll come and speak with me. She'll try to speak with me, but I won't respond. Okay, and she'll say, try to understand my problem. I know that I was supposed to come at 10 o'clock, but I thought Appa will be going to office. But it was his holiday. It was a public holiday. What will I say to my parents? How will I come out? And how will I contact you? How will I inform you? There was no way out. Genuine reason. Try to understand. Genuine reason. And then my anger is gone. Okay? And everything is now normal. What I wanted to tell you over here is, we are waiting till a specific period of time. It's not like until she will not come, I will not go from here. It's not like that. There is some limit. Same thing happens in internet also. Whenever you are downloading something or whenever you are asking for some service, data is coming to your computer not in the form of water. I mean to say how water comes in. It is continuous flow. It's not like that. It comes in the form of data packets. It is coming in the form of data packets. Data packet means first packet will arrive. Then there is some time which passes by. It's called as jitter. Jitter refers to the variation in the time between two data packets. Suppose for as an example, we are saying that 5 seconds are allowed as jitter time. That means you can have a maximum 5 seconds gap. So first packet is coming, 1, 2, 3. Second packet comes, again restart, 1, 2. Third packets come. Third packet is coming, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fourth packet comes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it is crossing 5 seconds, okay, this particular transport layer will cut the connection. Why you know? There is some limit, na? See, what happens is, many a times you are logging on to a particular site. Okay? The connection is on. The connection is on. You are logging www.yahoo.com. On the status bar, you are getting the message connecting to site. But no data is coming. Okay? Then, in a very short span of time, your browser will give you a message, connection timeout. That means you are reserving a channel, but no data is coming through that channel. Then why not release that channel so that the same channel can be used by some another person? There is some time limit of waiting, na? I'll wait for 15 minutes, half an hour. But now with cell phone, I am not ready to wait for a single minute also. I'm not ready to wait. Now, suppose me and my family wants to go out somewhere. I'm coming from outside. So I'll call from station only. Get ready. In 10 minutes, I'm reaching near our residence. 10 minutes. 10 minutes means 10 minutes. And when I come over there, it is made sure by my family members that they are waiting for me. I don't have that patience of waiting now. I'll wait, but for 1 minute. Immediately, second minute, come on, 10 minutes is gone. Coming. This junior Amul is very... he says, I won't wear this, I won't wear that, I want this shoes only. So time is consumed. So that's the that's the work of patience, right? So today I am also not patient like I was before, say 10-15 years. Can't help. So that is called as sets the timeout for data packets. Now are you understanding what is setting timeout? Okay, moving to the next one is called as internet layer. Next one is called as internet layer. Now internet layer will be handling the data movement of the network. And we had seen that example of attenuation, how the data was transferring. Okay, and because of some problem, the data was routed from some different channel. Am I right or wrong? The same thing is done by this internet layer. It is handling the movement of data in the network. In short, it is doing something called as routing. Suppose there is a problem in one specific channel or one specific patch. The data will be sent to the destination but via some another route. That is called as routing. It defines the addressing and routing structures. Means when the data leaves the sender, the path is pre-decided that it will be going by this and this particular path. And it is done by whom? The internet layer. That is called as, it defines the addressing and routing structure. How the data will reach the destination is been finalized. And in that, if you want to route, you can route or you can change the route. That is nothing but the internet layer. After this internet layer, we are now moving to the next one, and that is called as network interface layer. Now what is this network interface layer? The network interface layer is also called as the data link layer. There are many transmission processors in between. We have learnt about transmission processors, hub, switch, routers, gateways, bridges. They are all hardware, na? And hardware cannot work until and unless it is having proper software. So technically speaking, the software which is making the hardware work is called as drivers, device drivers. All these are devices, and for working them in an efficient manner, you require device drivers, the software. It's a part of an operating system which is provided by this particular network interface layer. And it is the network interface layer who is communicating with the actual transmission medium. Okay, the data is transmitted via some wires. So communication with those wires is done by the network interface layer. And last but not the least is the physical layer. And physical layer refers to the physical wires itself on which the data will be transferred. So if you must have noted, I started with user applications. Okay, then I came down to connection, then I came down to transmission, then I came down to software related with hardware, and last is I was talking only about hardware. This is nothing but something called as the first type of telecommunication or transfer protocol, TCP/IP. Understanding? Let me remind you once again, this is only for the data communication within the network and between those networks which are similar in nature. Understanding? Okay, we now move to the bigger part of this particular topic, that is called as OSI model. Open System Interconnection Model, which was given by ISO. It is International Organization for Standards, or we also call it as International Standards Organization. Actually, it is International Organization for Standards. This is the right term. Okay, but people use it interchangeably. Okay. So here also we will be having the communication rules defined or bifurcated into different layers. Here layers are named, no doubt about it, but layers are also numbered. Layer 1 will be directly communicating with the hardware. It is nearer to the hardware. So it is quite obvious. The last layer, layer 7, okay, will be communicating with the user, or it is more concerned with the user. But let's start with user and go down gradually to the hardware. So we are starting with the first layer, numbered 7. Are you understanding? We are starting with the first layer, numbered 7, and that is called as the application layer. Now, I need not discuss more about this application layer, because now you have a gradual idea of what exactly is an application layer. Application layer is that layer which is concerned with the user. It is concerned with the applications or the software which is being used by the user. Are you understanding? So it is saying the end user and the software. Now, in OSI model, when we are talking about the application layer, user authentication is very important. Now, I told you this is for dissimilar networks. Any network can connect to any other network. So you don't know exactly that who is trying to access your resources. So don't you think there is a need to check, there is a need to authenticate that which service or which resource is trying to access our own resource? I'll explain you with the help of an example. Listen, there is one Miss Kiran. I was saying Kiran. Now let's assume it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon and Kiran is alone at her residence and the bell rings. Ting tong. Kiran will be opening the door and there is a stranger standing outside. Now, boys, there is a stranger standing outside. Kiran will open the door. She sees the stranger. She keeps the door open and she leaves. Don't you think it is very dangerous? Am I right or wrong? Don't you think this is very dangerous? Such thing cannot happen. That means no user authentication. Someone is coming, we are not checking who is coming and what exactly he wants. What Kiran will be doing is, Kiran will open the door. When she sees a stranger, hey, who are you? What do you want? Then that person will say whatever he wants to say, like, ma'am, I am that AC mechanic. You had registered a complaint that AC is not working or for servicing. Now, if really she has launched a complaint, she'll say, okay, do the servicing. Now, for example, she's not having AC only. And that person is saying, you have registered a complaint. But don't you think this is something which is really problematic? Immediately, you will slam the door on his face. Get lost. That is user authentication. You are checking who that user is and what that user wants or what that service or application wants. But the same type of user authentication was not done on TCP/IP. Why you know? And because it was the same network. It is like, for example, afternoon, 2 o'clock, Kiran at home, alone, bell rings, ting tong, she opens the door, Appa, her Appa is standing on the door. Maybe he has taken a half day, he is coming early. Now Kiran won't ask, na, hey, who are you? What do you want? That will be also dangerous. She'll greet her Appa. Hey, Appa, so early? No authentication is required in TCP/IP. But this type of authentication is required in OSI model. That's nothing but user authentication. And the privacy factor of the data. The privacy factor of the data is being checked by this particular application layer. Now whatever data is being transmitted between Ram Prakash and his girlfriend, that particular data, don't you think is very private to you only? Will you broadcast it? Will you allow everyone to read what is being typed between you and your girlfriend? And it is personal, very personal. Privacy is very important, and that is being handled, or that has been implemented by the application layer. Understanding? Moving to the next layer is called as presentation layer. That is layer 6. It is called as presentation layer. It is also referred to as the syntax layer. Now what exactly is this syntax layer? Understand it. Please be calm, be quiet. What is this syntax layer? Now listen. Whenever you are downloading a video file, what exactly you are downloading? Bits. You are downloading bits. You are downloading an audio file. You are downloading bits. You are downloading an image. Exactly, you are downloading bits. And you are downloading some text file. Then also you are downloading bits. So data which has been downloaded comes in the form of bits. But many times what happens is, suppose you are downloading some audio file. The downloading is not over, but still the right application will be started. Maybe Windows Media Player will be started, and the song will be played even before the entire downloading is finished. This is called as streaming. Okay. Now we have never given the command to do all such things. How exactly it is done, or who does it? And the answer for this question is the presentation layer does it. The presentation layer analyzes what type of data is coming. It will check the computer and it will try to find out that which is the default software or default application for this type of data. That application is opened and the data is being presented to you in the right format. That's why this particular layer is called as presentation layer. It will be converting the data into audio, into video, whatever is required, it will be doing the conversion. And this is actually done by the operating system. So we say the presentation layer is a part of an operating system. Then it also undertakes the responsibility of encryption of the data. Encryption of the data means converting the data into that format which is not understandable by any other person. Okay, I'll explain all these things in detail when we learn cryptography. Cryptography, I'm supposed to teach what is encryption. That time we'll learn what is encryption. Now just understand the data. Now I can read what is written over here. Anyone can read what is written over here. But I will convert these things into that manner that no third person will understand what is written. But when you take it home, when you convert it back, you will understand what that data is. That is called as encryption. Now this is purely done so that you can save your data or you can protect your data from hackers. I have some data. I convert it and then I send it. Even if a hacker is hacking it, he won't be able to understand what exactly he has got. And at the receiving station, that data is converted back into the readable format or into the original format so that the person can read and understand. That is called as encryption. And this encryption becomes the responsibility of the presentation layer. And the last one is data compression. Data is required to be compressed. Now you will ask me, why to compress the data? I don't have any problem. I am uploading 10 MB. So let me upload 10 MB. It will take more time now. No problem. I will have a bigger internet bill now. No problem. I am ready to pay. It is not about money. It is about something else. Let me elaborate. Let me give you an example to understand why data compression is necessary. I've seen in Chennai, there are some roads which are very narrow and overtaking is not possible only. Okay, so let's say if Raj is coming to the class, okay, in a vehicle gifted to him by his father. His father is gifting him White elephant. White elephant means Toyota Fortuner. Okay. And Raj is driving his Toyota Fortuner. It's a big vehicle, SUV, and he's driving it. Now there is no other person accompanied by Raj. Entire vehicle is empty. Only the driver seat, Raj is sitting and he is driving. Okay. Now let's say he is driving on a narrow road. Okay. And he is driving as fast as possible and not hurting others. That speed he is driving. Now behind his Fortuner there is one ambulance, 108, having a dying patient. And that ambulance with that siren, wow, 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 it is behind him. Now Raj wants to give side. He wants to give side, but the circumstances are such that he cannot give side and there is no space for that ambulance to overtake. Okay? And if the person dies, see, Raj is not responsible for it. But being a good human being, he will feel, I could not give side to this ambulance. That's why maybe that patient is no longer in this world. If Raj was not driving a Fortuner, see, anyways you are coming alone. So why you are bringing this very big vehicle? Why you are spending money? He said, no problem spending money. Appa has given me a lot of money. Tank is empty, refill it. Don't worry about the rate of the fuel. That is, it's not about money. If he was driving an Activa, anyways you are coming alone. If you are driving an Activa and if there is an ambulance behind you, you will go aside, you will give them side. Okay, and the ambulance can move on. Understanding? That means whatever is the path, you are using only that is required and rest you are allocating to others. So if you want to transmit 10 MB data, if you can compress it, it goes down to almost 6 MB. So you need to transfer only 6 MB, na? That 4 MB is saved, that much time is saved. So that time which you are saying, that particular data communication channel will be given to someone else for transmitting maybe some more important data than you. That's why data compression should be done. And this data compression is done by the presentation layer. So that was nothing but the next layer, layer 6, called as presentation layer. Moving to the next one is called as layer 5 or the session layer. Now let's try to understand what is this session layer. What is a session? Let's try to understand that first. See, our lecture starts at 6:30. It ends at 12 o'clock. So we are getting connected with each other at 6:30 and obviously we will be disconnecting at 12 o'clock, right? But the lecture will not be continuous from 6:30 to 12 o'clock. Say maybe at 8 o'clock, 8:30, I give you a 15-minute break. So, shh, please, it is just an example. It means the connection has started at 6:30. The session also starts at 6:30, but it stops at 8:30. After the 15 minutes break, the connection is still on. The connection is still on, but session second starts at 8:45. And then maybe at 10:45, I'll give you one more break of 15 minutes. So 10:45, the session ends, but the connection is still on. Now the third session starts at 11 o'clock till 12:30. Or maybe till 12 o'clock. And 12 o'clock, the connection ends. Obviously, the session has to end. So different types of session comes together to form a connection. Are you understanding? Now, I taught you in terms of lecture and break. Now, I am teaching you the same concept, how exactly the connection and this session takes place. Now listen. Abhirami and Mr. Ram Prakash, brother and sister, they are having some active communication. Maybe they are chatting on some chatting software, MSN message or something like that. Permission is taken, connection is done, connection starts. Okay. Now they are talking or they are chatting about costing. They are discussing about studies. They are discussing about costing. And after say half an hour, Abhirami's mom is saying, Abhirami, come and have your breakfast. So Abhirami says, just a minute, sorry. Give me 10 minutes. BRB. You know na BRB? Be right back. She goes, she is having a breakfast and she is back. Okay. Again the discussion continues. Then the doorbell rings. Abhirami says, coming. She opens the door. There is some salesperson. She is having a discussion with the salesperson. She is interested to buy that thing which the salesperson is selling. In that 10-15 minutes are gone. That particular session is terminated. When she comes back, session restarts. Then the phone is ringing. She picks up the phone. The phone is from Dubai. Her boyfriend is speaking from Dubai or Saudi Arabia. Now, if she is talking to her boyfriend, will it be only for 10 minutes? No chance. No chance. At least half an hour. And he is waiting. Okay. Now, after half an hour, 45 minutes, she is keeping her phone and again coming back. Okay. Then he is frustrated. Abhirami, when you are free now, that time we will discuss. Now please, we will disconnect. See, the connection started, the connection stopped. But in that, you had several sessions. This is nothing but something called as a active session. Active session or a session is that particular part of communication where both the sender and the receiver are active. So, the session layer will be setting up the session. It will coordinate the session. It terminates the exchanges between the application. Whatever data is been sent, received, okay, its termination and its exchange lies with the session layer. And it also is deciding the mode of transmission, whether it will be a simplex connection or a semi-duplex or a half-duplex or a full duplex connection. Understanding? That is nothing but the session layer. Moving after this session layer, we are coming to the next layer, layer 4, that is the transport layer. And I need not teach you transport layer. I have already done that. It is the same. It ensures the reliable transfer of data. How the data is taking transfer. It is all about routing. Okay. It is all about assembling and disassembling of the packets. Whatever packets we want to send, it is assembled. It is sent via different routes and it is again reassembled at the receiving point. That is called as the transport layer. After this transport layer, we are moving to layer 3, that is called as the network layer. Again, we have done the same. We have learnt it. It is all about the choice of physical route, which route we will be taking up. Then the switching. Switching means many point of time there is a problem in one particular path, one particular segment. So what we do is we change the route for a specific period of time and again we come back. Suppose you are driving on a highway, okay, and there is some accident, some problem. You won't wait there. You will change your route. I mean to say you will take the service road. You travel along the service road for a specific period of time. And when the problem area is over, you again come back to the highway. What is that? Switching. Temporarily, you are moving to some another route. That is referred to as switching, which is done by the network layer. And maintaining and terminating the connection of the node lies with the network layer. And maintaining and terminating the session lies with the session layer. After this, we are now moving to the second last layer, that is called as layer 2. It's called as layer 2. It's also referred to as the data link layer. Again, we have learned this. Data link layer is about transferring of data between WANs. Two different networks I am talking about. So when the data is being transmitted, it has to first be transmitted between two WANs, and that has been done by the data link layer. The work of data link layer is very simple. Communicating with the network layer, taking the request from the network layer and forwarding the same request to the hardware layer. So we can say data link layer is the link between the which layer? Transport layer or the network layer and the hardware layer. And last is the physical layer, which is actually the communication channel. It is also called as the hardware layer. It is all about the actual signals which are being transferred. The mechanical and the electromagnetic features of this networking is discussed in the physical layer. Hubs and repeaters. Again, hubs and repeaters are nothing but hardware for efficient transferring of data. All these things are taken care of by the physical layer. Are you understanding? This was a very technical topic. Okay, so we have finished off with network what? Protocols, rules and regulations, TCP, IP for similar network and OSI model for dissimilar network. Getting it? Finished. Finished. We are now moving with the next topic. We are now starting off with a new topic. That is called as threats to network. Should I start? We are beginning with a new topic that is called as threats to network. Now, what is a threat to network? Threat means the problem caused to a network. Threat means there would be a disruption in the normal functioning of a network. Now, what kind of disruption you can have? The regular operation of a network is not possible. The routine functioning of a specific network is not taking place. The integrity of the data is being compromised. I have taught this concept now n number of times. Data integrity. The data needs to be integrated. It should not be tampered. It should be in the same way as the sender has given the data. It should not be tampered in between. And the data should be available. Available means directly the data is deleted from the system. It is lost from the system. All such type of things are called as what? Threats. These are the problems to a network, or these are the causes of the problems to a network. Number one, your regular operation will be disrupted. Your normal functioning is disturbed. Data integrity is not maintained, also called as data integrity is been compromised, or the data itself is not at all available. That is nothing but a threat to a network. Now, what are the different types of threats? The first one is called as a structured threat. First one is called as unstructured threat. Now try to understand what is a unstructured threat. Unstructured threat is that threat which comes from a inexperienced individual. Now there are some people who are just curious to know what will happen when a virus is working on a specific network, or a virus is disturbing a network. What happens? They are just curious. They don't have any malicious content. They don't have any malicious intention. I want to disrupt this system. I'll take a revenge. I have to stop their proper working. There is no malicious content. Okay, like for example, two friends are playing with each other. Okay, and I'm talking about small kids, and one friend is having a remote car. Okay, the other one is not having, and the first boy is not allowing the second one to play with his car. Okay, you take this normal one, you play with this. Then that second boy gets very curious. What would be the enjoyment of controlling that car? So he steals that car. The intention is not wrong. The intention is not to cause any problem to his friend or to create any loss for his friend. He is curious to know how exactly would be the enjoyment. In the same way, there are some fresh programmers, newly recruited people, or new in that particular field. They are curious about problem means what problem? They want to know about it, and that's why they end up disturbing the system. These inexperienced individuals try to discover the weakness of a company's network, and then they attack that weakness. Whenever you are attacked at your weak point, you suffer a lot, and that is been done by this unstructured threat. Again, I tell you, there is no malicious intention, no destructive intention. It is just arising out of curiosity. That is called as unstructured threats. After this unstructured threats, we are moving to the next one, and that is called as a structured threat. It's very simple. A structured threat will be caused by a person who has sound knowledge of programming. He is an expert programmer. He understands each and everything very well. He is technically a very, very competent person. He understands a network. He understands the barrier to a network. He understands the security given to the network. He understands where is the weakness of this network, and he will be attacking at the right place. He has the exact idea of hacking. He knows how exactly programming is done for hacking a particular system. That is called as he knows about the hacking script. Now this is normally done by industry competitors. In industry, there is a competition, no doubt about it. But there has to be a healthy competition. Like if two people are running, healthy competition means I'll run faster than you. If I want to win, I'll run faster than you. But unhealthy competition means I'll try to plan something so that you will fall, and then I'll win. That is unhealthy competition. It is not good for the business. It is not good for anyone. So some industry may hire such type of hackers. The industry competitors may hire such type of hackers, and they would create a problem in the normal functioning of the competitive industry or a competitive company. Or it would be hired by some intelligence organizations. Now intelligence organization means India is having an intelligence organization called as RAW. Now they are asking hackers to hack a specific site so that they can know the more details, which would be quite useful for our nation's security. Maybe some business problems will be solved by normal IT department of the police. Okay, they are also using hackers. You should see a movie called as Mickey Virus. If you must have seen, it's a Hindi movie. It's all about hacking. Okay. So that is nothing but intelligence organization. Shh. Hey, please. Hey, I'm always disturbed from this particular section. Always, you're continuously talking. Okay, after this structured threat, we are moving to the next one that is called as the external threat. External threat is that threat which comes from outside of an organization. Some outsider, obviously it is that person who is not having a authorized access to the network, is trying and attacking our network. He is an unauthorized person. So any individual who is outside the organization, if he is causing any problem to our network, it is called as the external threat. And then we have the internal threat. Internal threat is that threat which comes from within the organization. It comes from those individuals who are having authorized access to the network. Now this could happen if a particular employee is not happy with the working of the organization. He's not happy with some rules and regulations. He wants to take some revenge. He's discontented in some way or the other. So this particular type of a threat comes from a present employee or a past employee who is discontented with the company. So these are the 4 different types of threats. Unstructured, coming from any individual out of curiosity. Structured, well planned, destructive plan. External, from people coming outside the organization. And internal, it is from the people who are working within the organization. Okay, after this, the threats to network, we are now moving on to the next topic, vulnerabilities to the software. What is this vulnerability? It is nothing but an inherent weakness. Now there are some people who are suffering from sinus. Their weakness is they cannot drink cold drinks. They cannot drink anything that is cold. Immediately it will start causing a problem. It is their inherent weakness. People suffering from asthma should stay away from dust. Okay, if that dust gets inside that respiratory system, then they will be having a problem. This is that problem. Okay, that is so whenever we are talking about vulnerabilities, it is nothing but what? The inherent weakness. So now let's try to understand what are the weaknesses of a software. Whenever a software is created, what are the possible weaknesses available in that software? And that can be targeted by the external people. Number one is called as software bugs. Software bug is a deficiency in the programming itself. Okay, while programming only, some part must have left unattended, or some part must have not been protected, or some particular module is not working properly. That is called as a software bug. It is the deficiency in the programming itself which has been left unattended by the programmer. Then we have the next one, that is called as a timing window. Timing window means, see, whenever a specific business process is executed, some intermediate files are being created who are born within the process and who die before the process is completed. So whenever a specific software is protecting the files, it is protecting only files which stay forever or which are there for a longer period of time. These files who are very temporary are not protected. Then the hackers may target such type of files. Those files which are having an intermediate existence or existence for a small period of time which is not protected, they are attacked, and this particular files is called as timing window. In that specific timing only, when that file is alive, the virus has to attack that, and through that file it is spreading inside the system, and that is nothing but something called as a timing window. It is exploiting a file which is temporary, and this file is used as a gateway to enter inside the system. That is called as timing window. After that, we have insecure default configurations. Insecure default configurations means there are some users who, like a foolish people, will keep so simple password that anyone in the world can guess. Okay, you are keeping your own name as password. Combination of name and birth date is a very, very popular method of giving a password. That is always done. So if you use such type of passwords, anyone can guess and anyone can enter the system. So it is very simple for the intruder to get inside this particular system, and that is called as insecure default configurations. Then trusting untrustworthy information. Many a times while surfing, there are n number of pop-ups coming up. Okay, your system is slow, then this particular driver needs to be updated. Many a times it would be valid also, but these are some pop-ups through which a virus can enter inside your computing system. So it is the bogus routers through which such type of virus or such type of vulnerability can be created, weakness can be created, and this weakness can be attacked. That is called as trusting untrustworthy information. And then we have the last reason, the end user itself is a reason so that a network can be attacked. Like for example, these users are noting down their password. And still worse is they are noting down the password at that place where it could be easily found out. Like for example, here there is a computer. They have a problem remembering the login ID and password. And here is a mouse. Mouse is having a mouse pad. So the login ID and password they are writing on the back side of that mouse pad. Now there is a monitor over here. Now today we are having LCD LEDs. So below the base of that monitor, they are writing the login ID and password. So whenever they come, they can just lift the monitor, see it, and then type it. Check the mouse pad and write it. Or if any person is having an unauthorized access, immediately it has been shown before him. Na? The login ID and password immediately is ready. No need to do any sort of hacking. So these are those irresponsible end users because of which the software can be vulnerable. And negligence in the security procedures. Negligence in the security procedure means, suppose there is a very important file. It has to be protected in some way or the other. Hide it, give a password. Okay, such files are kept in a normal way, or in that way a normal file is being kept. In this way, you will be creating a problem for the security of the software. So with this, I have finished off with two topics: threats to a network and vulnerabilities in a software.